What's up, guys? Welcome to the RHR Kitchen. My name is Diana Coulian. I am the recipe hacker and I'm the co-founder of Truling Nutrition. Guys, today I'm excited to share with you one of my favorite ways to enjoy Truling protein. And I haven't made it in a live yet because it's making peanut butter. And the process takes quite a while, but I realized that I can show you guys the pieces of the process and give you the recipe, and we don't have to sit here and wait for it to blend for 20 minutes. So I'm really excited that I get to share this recipe with you guys because peanut butter is a staple in so many of our homes. I have 2 kids and a husband, and they eat peanut butter every single day. And so it is one of those things that it's part of our life for so many of us. And it's really easy to get into the trap of going to the store and looking for the peanut butter that says natural or it says organic, and we feel a little bit better because we know that the traditional peanut butters out there are so full of sugars, they're so full of harmful ingredients, but the brands got pretty tricky and they put things like natural on here, and when I'm in a time crunch, I will even buy it. However, it's so easy to make peanut butter that works for your fitness goals. You can add protein, which helps you burn more fat. It helps keep you full. And then instead of adding refined sugars like they do in these and the oils, we can just add a little bit of raw honey and some natural sea salt. And guys, what's crazy? The 2 things I really want to impart with you here is the fact that it is incredibly easy to make your own peanut butter, and it tastes better than the stuff that you buy at the store. So guys, you're saving money, you're putting healthy ingredients into the peanut butter that you and your family are gonna eat every day, and at the end, it tastes better. So this is me just pumping you up to make this at home and really see the difference. And the great thing is you can spend an hour and make a whole bunch of jars of peanut butter, keep it in the refrigerator, and that will last you for quite a while. So there's a little bit of time investment, but the payoff is huge. So guys, these are the simple ingredients that go into making protein peanut butter. Of course, we have some Truling protein. I love to use this vanilla whey. I think for me, it just adds like a subtle sweet flavor. If you guys haven't tried this protein, my favorite thing about it is when you open the bag, it smells like you're opening, we call it frosted vanilla cake for a reason because it smells like you're opening a box of cake mix. It just has that vanilla cake flavor. And so I like having this subtle sweetness in my peanut butter, and I add several scoops. We'll get into how many scoops you use, but really guys, use whatever flavor of protein you want. I've also made it with our chocolate peanut butter flavor, and I've been thinking about using our strawberries and cream because then you just in the jar, you would have the flavors of strawberry and peanut butter together, which would be pretty awesome. Okay, so we got peanut butter. We have just some dry, unsalted peanuts. Now guys, if you have salted peanuts, that works as well. You just need to be careful with how much more salt you're gonna add into your peanut butter, okay? So I like to start with unsalted peanuts just so that it's like a blank palette and I get to add the amount of salt that I want. I like to use a little bit of this raw natural honey. I do like to add a little bit of sweetness to my peanut butter. Again, you're getting a little bit of sweetness with the protein as well. So this is a personal preference. If you want to keep it so that there's really not even any natural sugars in your peanut butter, you do not have to add honey. Something else that you can do, where I've made like a keto version where I just use a little bit of stevia. So you still get the sweetness, and I like to use the liquid stevia without adding the sugar. But if you're looking for, a healthy peanut butter for the whole family, there's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of this natural honey to give it some sweetness. And then I just like to use some sea salt, just the salt that I cook with in the kitchen. So guys, the first thing that I would do at home is I like to throw the peanuts in the oven just for a little bit. It serves 2 purposes. One, it gets them a little bit roasted, which adds to the flavor. But the second thing is it warms them up. And so I found that when you warm them up, and then you go to blend them, it's just gonna be a quicker process because it's like you've heated up the oil inside of the peanuts, and as you start to blend it, it's gonna release the oil and it's gonna break down faster if it starts out already warm, okay? So to do that, it's just a rimmed baking sheet. I love these. Amazon sells them in packs of like 500, but this is just brown parchment paper that's like the perfect size for your pans. So you just throw one of these on here and spread it, just cover it with peanuts and stick it in the oven. I do it just at 350, and it's one of those things where you just watch it, right? That the house is gonna start to smell really delicious and peanut buttery, peanut toasty peanutty, and you just watch it. Now, the amount of roasting that you do, it's totally up to your preference. This peanut butter that I made this morning, look how yummy that is. This, I roasted it kind of a dark roast. And so you can see in the color that it turned out to be a little bit of a darker peanut butter. And it's just gonna impact that flavor. So sometimes I'll do a pan that's pretty darkly roasted, and then I'll just mix it in with some that I didn't roast at all to kind of balance it out. But again, what's fun about making peanut butter, guys, is that once you've done it a couple times, you don't need to measure anything. It's just, what do I have? And then throwing things together and tasting it and throwing more things in. And it's a fun process, and there's no right and wrong. Because if you think about it, we're creaming up peanuts and we're adding in protein and flavor, right? You can't do it wrong. So I know a lot of people who, they get a little intimidated with the idea of making something like this from scratch, but it really is such a simple process. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna show you the first steps here, and then I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like after you blend it for several minutes. And we're not gonna sit here and blend it for several minutes together. Okay, so again, your peanuts, if you've decided to roast them, you'll just be taking them from the pan. Be careful, they're definitely gonna be hot, and you're gonna be putting them in to your food processor. Now, guys, let's talk about this food processor for a minute, because most of you know we are doing a big giveaway in March. So we have our Lean for Life bundle on our website, truelean.com. And we love this bundle because it allows us to give you 20% off our essential products. So I have a Lean for Life bundle here, guys. We have protein, we have Everyday Fit, we have a box of our wellness shot, and then we have our ageless super grains. So everyone who buys a bundle in the month of March is entered into our drawing to win 4 of my favorite kitchen gadgets. So last week we talked about the Ninja Foodie. We made a smoothie bowl using cauliflower rice instead of a whole bunch of fruit. So we had a low sugar, high protein smoothie bowl, which I hope you guys have tried it. It's so good. I keep making it almost every night because I can't get enough of it. So somebody's gonna win that. It's such a perfect tool for making smoothie bowls, for making protein shakes, and a ton of other things. Somebody is gonna win this Cuisinart food processor. So I use it all the time to make my protein peanut butter, but there are so many other things that you can make with this food processor. Most of my cookie recipes, instead of starting with flour, we'll start with either oats or just nuts, and we'll grind it up in here to turn it into flour. So there's so many, if you are interested in cooking healthy, and if you really are making this part of your lifestyle, having these tools is really essential to allow you to make the healthier food products. So just another reason to hop over to truelean.com and to get your Lean for Life bundle. So in addition to getting 20% off all of these items, we are doing free shipping just on our bundle for the next week. So starting today, get your Lean for Life bundle, get that free shipping, and then you'll be entered into the drawing. There's gonna be 2 more really cool kitchen gadgets that are gonna be added to the prize pool, and then the winners are announced on April 1st. So I'm really excited about that, guys. Okay, so we've thrown our peanuts into the food processor. And again, this is the part where I just eyeball it. Like, there's no reason to have measurements. Before you add any of the other ingredients, you are going to just pulse the peanuts up to start with. Okay, so you can see how quickly these have gone from peanuts to really just powder. So once it gets to the stage, very quickly, 30 seconds or less, where it's powder, that's when I'm gonna add all of my other ingredients. And from there, you're just gonna let it run. Okay, so I will show you. So we'll start with protein. And I like to do typically about 4 scoops. Again, this is just an eyeball game, guys, because there's no wrong answer, right? If you want more protein, then add more protein. If you just want to do 1 scoop of protein, then you just do 1 scoop of protein. But this is all about personal preference, and you can't get it wrong. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of honey, and again, personal preference. If you'd rather do some stevia, that's fine. But guys, I'm doing about a teaspoon here. You can always taste it once it's more blended and add more if you'd like. It's much better to do less in the beginning than to over sweeten it. And if you add too much honey, it's also gonna make the blending process take longer. Okay, so something to think about. And then we're gonna add a little bit of salt because again, these were unsalted peanuts, so this is about half a teaspoon. And salt, again, at the end, we'll taste it. If it's not salty enough, it's really easy to just throw salt in. So from here, guys, again, like I said, we just blend. Like this is how simple it is to make protein peanut butter at home. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through the blending stages that you're gonna see. And we're not gonna do it on camera, but after we would blend for about 2 to 3 more minutes, what you have inside of here is gonna look like this. So it's still pretty crumbly, but it's crumbles that stick together and kind of like form a big wall in there. And at this point, you're gonna hear, like if you're doing something else in the kitchen, but you're listening, you're gonna hear it sounds different. So this is the point where you're gonna stop it and you're just gonna break it up with a spoon, okay? The first several minutes, it could be up to 10 minutes because it just depends on the machine that you're using and the amount of peanuts that you put in there as far as how long it's gonna take. But there's going to be several minutes where it's clumping together. So from this stage where it's almost like turning into clay, and you're gonna think like, okay, there's no way this is ever gonna turn into creamy peanut butter. I don't know what's happening here. So then it's slowly gonna turn into almost like a stiffer, a little bit smoother clay. And again, depending on the machine you're using and the amount of ingredients that you put in, it could be up to 10 minutes that you're stopping it, you're breaking it up, you're letting it go again. But then it gets to this like magical moment. And usually I'm not looking at it. I'm just like hearing the sound where the sound is completely gonna change and you're gonna look over and just almost, it seems magically, it goes from looking like clay to looking like this. And there's something about the way that the oils are breaking down and everything is just getting perfectly creamy that like, you've blended long enough when it looks like this, which is just so silky and delicious, guys. So you just stick with it. Like I said, it could take 10 minutes, it could take 15 minutes, depending on what you're using, but just keep blending. Don't stop until it looks like this and it's really smooth and creamy. At this point, I would stop the machine, taste it, decide if I want to add a little bit more honey, decide if I want to add a little bit more salt, mix it in if I did add more, and then you're done. And so at this point, your whole thing is going to be full of just this creamy peanut butter. Warning, it's going to be very hot. Like I've definitely burned my fingers on fresh peanut butter before because you don't realize just all the friction in there as it blends. That liquid peanut butter is very hot. So always take the lid off, give it a minute, and then fill your jars, let it sit out to cool down a little bit, and then you have just this delicious, healthy peanut butter, guys, that's gonna help you stay on track with your health and fitness. You're gonna be staying away from these harmful ingredients that are even in the healthy versions of peanut butter that you buy at the store. Because the guys, I mean, they need these to last on the shelf, right? Our peanut butter, it's natural, it's wholesome. You got to keep it in the fridge for it to last, just like all whole foods, right? And even if you look at the difference in how this peanut butter looks as far as being natural and fresh versus this one that we made this morning, like the difference is huge. And on a cellular level, guys, that makes a difference in our bodies. And so that's why I love adding just a healthy amount of protein. So it's another way that we can support our muscles, which supports our metabolism, keeps us on track with fat loss and energy and just overall health. So guys, I hope you try this recipe. Again, it sounds intimidating. I'm making my own peanut butter, but it is one of the most simple things that you can do in the kitchen. I almost want to say this is as simple as making a protein shake. So guys, I hope you will jump over to Truling.com, grab our Lean for Life bundle, enjoy that free shipping, and then on April 1st, hopefully I will be saying your name as one of the winners of our kitchen gadgets. Guys, thanks for joining me. I will be back next week with another fun recipe. Take care, guys.